Okay, so our first section starts off from way on top of the ear, rolling right down to the hairline. We're going to be focusing on the lower occipital part of the sections at the moment, everything under that occipital bone. And all we're doing is taking it really close to the hairline, and we're club cutting, and we're just basically following the same shape of the head. And what that enables us to do is cut from where we started, on the left hand side, through the middle, round to the right hand side, basically keeping all the weight and all the length in and around that upper recession area, and it gives us the ability to keep the length really quite short on the underneath. It'll make a bit more sense later on. As you can see at the moment, I'm actually working with Laura's natural hair growth patterns. I'm keeping her sections really fine. Say about 70% worth of the guideline and 30% of uncut hair, and that's just giving us the ability to see through a section and work methodically through the haircut itself. And as you can see now, we're just starting to angle our hand out slightly while taking a wee tiny bit more of the bulk from the top. And what we're doing is we're just building that weight line in and around that kind of ear level recession area, working the whole way right round to the occipital bone. And we're going to mirror that on the opposite side. As you can see, we're basically following the mirror image from the left hand side onto the right hand side, cutting shorter in around the hairline, leaving more of that bulk in and around the recession line and in and around the occipital weight line. And the comb's gone. Quickly got a replacement ready to go. All we're doing is cutting upwards into the hairline, complementing the way the hair wants to grow itself. And we're going to leave a wee point just under the left, or the right hand ear, sorry. and vice versa. On the left hand side, we're just going to come down the way. And we're just going to follow that weight and that bulk shape. And we're just going to make small incisions into the hair, taking into account what way the hair wants to sit naturally. Once that's done, all we're doing is taking our wee set of neckline trimmers and we're just tidying up the excess. Everything we don't need can go. As you can see at the moment, we've left a very, very slight disconnection from our shorter section through the back. And what we're doing now is we took a guideline, properly straight from the head, and now we're just following that round horizontally right through. So that's two guidelines, one running vertical in the middle and one horizontal running basically along the left hand side of the head. It just gives us the ability to work cleanly, methodically through the haircut itself. And what we're now doing is just very, very calmly just taking small sections and just sticking to our guideline, keep it in tune with that disconnection. And every section we're just very gently combing the hair into place, just to make sure that there's anything that wants to sit differently. We can attack that separately. As you can see, basically continuing the same guideline and the same horizontal guideline through the right hand side of the haircut. Continuing to keep the section straight out from the head, no over direction, and everything cut. And remembering to keep that disconnection from the bottom, where it's all shorter. Cue sexy water spray montage. We disconnected the front panel from the hair itself, leaving that weight above the ear and leaving the length above the ear. We're taking two parallel sections separated with about a centimetre's worth of hair. We're twisting them out of the way because that will maintain a bit of length and give us a disconnected piece through the front that we can chop into later. It doesn't blend into the hair itself, and as you can see at the moment, combing everything down flat. Once is everything down flat, all we're looking to do then is get it through and actually shape around the face. Remember, keeping our sections clean, we're now involving the section above the ear to ensure that we've got enough length and enough hair that's going to be cut short that can really help our longer sections stand out. Just bringing everything into the opposite direction it naturally wants to sit. And that just just ensures that we get the hair off that we need, especially around the ears. We don't end up with a lot of bulk and a lot of unwanted hair. And all we're looking to do is just exaggerate the shape. Now, 3 disconnected sections are still, or 2 disconnected sections are still hidden out of the way. Makes it a bit more awkward when I'm actually slicing down into the hair. But that's no dramas. Just lifting that section of hair out of the way. And it just basically follows on the shape that we previously put in through the back. Just slice in the longer sections. These are the disconnected bits that run up. Just working around the opposite side of the head in the very same manner, but bearing in mind we want to tackle this side just a slight bit different as the fringe is going to basically get longer towards this section. Very, very similar. Just lifting out 3 parallel sections, twisting out of the way, clipping up. Once again, this is going to give us a longer disconnection for later on. And just shaping around the ear, followed by shaping around the face. Now, basically taking our disconnected sections out, ensuring they're not too long and too random. Just basically channel cut down the way, very, very gently closing your scissors just to give you a wee bit more control. Quick blast off, get everything sitting the way you want it. Now, this is where it gets a bit tricky. Basically what we want to do is bring the disconnected section from the back up towards the crown area, right over towards the crown area, picking the length that we want at the desired shape that we want. All we're going to do is basically almost pick out a couple of longer bits, create a couple of random disconnections, almost like highlight outlining the hair, almost like weaving you would do for a set of boards. And basically what that's going to do is give us some longer sections throughout the hair. When it comes to later on, it'll actually give us an extra bit of texture and choppiness. As you can see, I'm going to take the guideline, which is half the section previous and half uncut hair. And I'm going to push the excess out of the way. Weave a couple of bits that I don't want to cut, or longer bits. Once they've been taken out of the way, we're just going to basically cut the rest of it. Vice versa, continue the same one. Taking our section normal, weave a couple of longer bits out, leave the longer bits, and then cut around the fingers. We're just going to continue that round from upper ear to the crown on both sides. again, coming through. And we're looking at fringe, ensuring that we don't cut too much off. Paneling out and sectioning off. Just security of line. Floors get fine where we don't want to make it any finer. On the lower section or section to the fringe, all we're doing now is taking another couple of sections out of the way. We're twisting them. Once again, more disconnections. And with the remaining hair, we're going to bring it down and we're going to club cut slightly over to the side. Just getting rid of a lot of bulk and a bit of length. Now this will go a lot shorter later, but it's always easier to cut more hair off than put it back on again. And especially for clients the likes of Laura, who normally has longer hair, it's better looking at it for a couple of minutes than looking for it. Just bring everything down and see how it looks. Add a bit of texture products and give it a really good blow dry. Just in case anyone's wondering, I'm using the X-Hand left-handed scissor. I'm using the Gamma Q 3500 dryer and the Gamma Q digital ion straightener. When blow drying and ironing the hair, have a look for any inconsistencies, or any bits that you need to be extra chopped into or redefined when finishing off the haircut. Just bring all the hair forward. And what we're doing now is taking out our disconnected sections, keeping them separate. We don't want to cut them off. And just using a set of texturizing scissors just to soften out that upper ear area. Bring it back into our normal scissors, and all we're now doing is redefining and playing with the face shape and just taking off any excess length that we don't need. Very, very small incisions, followed by some scissor over comb, just to take a wee bit of the bulk and the wee bit of the weight out of them ends.
What we do here is go back.
Just slice cut some of the excess bulk out. Bear in mind we want to complement and play alongside with Laura's natural hair colour. Hook that in behind the ear. Any wee inconsistencies, any wee random longer bits, just take them off. That doesn't just look as defined as previous. Vice versa on the opposite section, all we do is take out the disconnected sections out of the way, redefine, especially in around the ears, any graduation that needs to come off or any texture needs to go in. Bear in mind, sometimes you have to cut it wrong to make it physically look right, especially when you put somebody with a very distinguished colour like Laura's. Basically taking parallel sections, very, very similar to the method that we use to cut the hair. Very similar sections, and all we're doing now is point cutting directly into the hair itself. We want to just merge that disconnection together. We don't want to blend it together, we just want to chop into it just so it flows nicely. And then just work on the hairline itself, just using the scissors downwards and then upwards. Basically you want to go with the hair. basically just using the tip of the scissor and the comb just to texturize into anything that needs or looks like it has a wee bit of excess weight, especially with the fact that Laura's colour is quite grey and quite dark in different places. Via the top, all we're looking to do is point cut in. We still want to leave them longer bits, we just don't leave many heavy longer bits. And as you can see, as I'm going through, I'm actually visually feeling and looking to see if there's anything that's maybe a wee bit too long or a wee bit too heavy. We want to keep a lot of them longer bits, but at the same time we don't want to give anything that Laura can't manage herself or that looks out of place. When it comes to the fringe trim itself, remember we put our guideline in there, we just want a shorter version of it. Once again, we've clipped out our disconnected pieces. These are the longer bits that we want to keep. We're just twisting them and clipping them right out of the way again. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with a pair of texturizing scissors just to put a very, very soft guideline into the hair. As you can see, especially through the fringe, there are loads of different colours going on. And all we're going to do is use the texturizing scissors to actually just play with the shape of Laura's hair and complement everything to her face shape. And I'm just taking the bulk out of the sides here with a normal pair of scissors, slicing down, and that's going to give us a starting point and a guideline. You're going to see the texturizing scissors being produced now. And all we're going to do is just continue to close them over and over and over again. And it's going to give us a really, really soft guideline, so it is. And it's also a safer way of taking a bit more bulk out of the hair without destroying all the length. Now, we're creating the shape that I want, which is perfect. Now all we're doing is turning the texturizing scissors to the side, and what that allows it to do is go a wee bit deeper into the hair itself. But once again, because they're texturizing scissors, they're not actually taking too much length off. Taking a normal pair of scissors, all we're doing now is just basically going in, and we're just going to soften into what we did with the texturizing scissors. We're going to redefine everything. The texturizing scissors have brought us a bit of length, gave us the shape we want. Now, we're going to take out them disconnected long sections and just comb them into place, see what they look like, and then redefine. Get rid of what we don't need, keep what we do need. Loads of different ways to do this, but all I'm doing at the moment is just taking the excess bulk out of it. Anything that's too short that looks out of place, but anything that could be too long also looks out of place, we're just going to redefine that completely. As you can see, just pointing into the fringe itself. Just tidying up the in between sections. Anything that was disconnected but isn't long enough to look right, we're getting rid of. No, ideally I would love to keep it like that, but any client's not going to walk out of the house like that in the morning. So we're just twisting the section, and by twisting it, it just gives us a softer sort of edge to the haircut when we slice down with the scissors. Nope, also breaks it up and removes any lines or any bulk that may be trapped. And just slicing down the hair. Always give it a bit of play, just to see how it's looking. And then go back in and refine it. Just using the scissors, just a channel cut, point down in the direction the fringe wants to go. And that's just softening everything up. Bear in mind, Laura, during consultation, said that she wanted something very funky, a lot shorter than what she's used to, but at the same time, low maintenance. She wants to keep a couple of longer bits that we talked her into, but at the same time, she doesn't want them always exposed. So by giving them the option, having it sliced into that much, she can make them pretty predominant, or she can push them to the side and keep them away. And that's what I'm checking in the mirror at the moment. Once again, just come back in with the detailers and just neaten and tidy everything. Any refiner hairs, especially in under the ears, etc., that you don't see when you're focusing on the hairline itself. Just go ahead, neaten and sharpen everything up. And then around the ears, and anything that you couldn't get out with the scissors in fear of cutting somebody. I'm just using a bit of Christopher Stewart hairdressing matte grooming clay. What we're doing is just adding a bit of texture to the hair. We're letting the hair, the way we blow dried it and started, dictate on how it's going to sit. I'm just mucking about just to see how it goes. And running Laura through everything as we're doing. Because remember, at the end of the day, she's a walking advert for us. So if she doesn't look good and she can't manage her hair, well then we don't look good. After a bit of products, using the hairdryer, get everything off, make sure everything is cut off is off. And more importantly, just double check. With the styling, everything's been done. There's no wee random bits of hair. This is what Laura asked for, but she wanted a more updated, funkier version, and I think we got there. What do you think?